Hi, everybody. My name is Erin Bush, and I am kind of facilitating our morning chat. Thank you guys so much for coming on. We are halfway through the month, so I am so excited about the momentum that this team is in. I mean, here we are in the middle of summer, and we are growing like crazy. So it is, and today I'm especially excited that you are here because you are going to hear from some very special people who are on the cusp of being jewels in Plexus. If you are brand new, being a jewel, getting to the emerald rank is really special because there's all kinds of amazing perks that come with an incredible six-figure income. But you get to, it's just a really special pinnacle point in your work from home business with Plexus. And so today we are going to hear from a few of our senior rubies who are working towards Emerald. And I've got a pen ready. I've got a notepad. Just because I am a diamond does not mean I have stopped learning. And I want to be super coachable and get the best information from others in Plexus who are fast forward in momentum so that I can relay that to my team. So I don't ever feel like I have arrived by any means. I hope you have a pen and paper because we're going to get started. I'm going to open us in prayer really quick, and then I'm going to hand it over. And we get to hear from these amazing women who are growing quickly, working hard, and have big goals. All right, let's pray. God, thank you so much for Plexus. Thank you so much for this incredible community. You have just brought each and every person here through divine appointment. You know how much the leaders on this team pray for their team and pray for people's lives to be changed in health, in finances, and even in just our humanity and personal development through Plexus and the community and opportunity that we provide. Please be with us today, calm any nerves, and Lord, just establish the work of our hands throughout the rest of July. Bring streams in the desert, paths in the wilderness, and Lord, we give our businesses to you so that we can prosper in your name and you can be glorified. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, we are going to start this morning with Andrea. Are you on here? I think I saw you.
I am. Hi.
Yay. Okay. I'm going to mute myself and you go. You take it away because you are in incredible momentum. And I want you to share with everybody what you are doing to not only create that momentum, but you've stayed in it. And so I want you to share. We're all ears.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea McElroy. I am a senior ruby, soon to be, I might cry. I'm just going to warn you guys. Soon to be emerald this month. I'm claiming it. My team is claiming it this month with Plexus. I've been with the company for a little over 3.5 years. And we really, my team, Dream Chasers, I love all of you guys. I have the most incredible team. We have been in really big momentum since May. And I just wanted to share with you guys what we're doing to create and, like Erin said, just continue the momentum. So our team re-ranked Ruby in April. And that was after me losing rank for 7 months. Like, it just happened. It happened. But I didn't give up. I knew it would happen eventually, and we just kept going. So in April, we re-ranked Ruby. In May, we went Senior Ruby. Added 65 new people to our team. In June, we added 142 people, 142, and ended 100 points shy of Emerald, 100 points. And in July, we've already added 66. And so what are we doing? We're doing exactly what the Jewels have been telling us to do for the last 3 months. When we saw all of this momentum going all throughout the company, not just on our team, but on other teams, our Jewels did everything they could to figure out what those teams were doing. What were they doing that was getting them into such huge momentum? And one of the gals I had met at Leaders Retreat in October was one of those gals who went from literally Ruby points to Emerald in like a month and a half, 2 months. And so I even reached out to her. I was like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she told me exactly what the Jewels have been telling us. Parties. We've been throwing parties. We've been doing gut health events. We've been asking new people if they'd be open to hosting a party. We really just started, honestly, we just started doing those this month. But it's been huge because whether you're inviting new people or you're using it as you have people on the fence that still need more information. They need something more to pull the trigger and jump on board for their health. So those events are amazing validations for everything that you've already been telling them throughout your conversations with them. So those parties are huge because it's third-party validation. There's no pressure on the new ambassador or even on you. It's just incredible information to help get them to the point where they're ready. They see the value in the products and they're ready to go. So parties have been really big for us. Three-way chats. If you guys are not using three-way chats, you are missing out. Though that is how we are getting brand new people going silver, going senior silver. We have people on our team who just joined last month who are going for gold this month. It took me 9 months, guys, to get to gold. And these people are doing it in 1 or 2 months. And they're using three-way chats. It completely takes the pressure off of them. All they do is like, hey, I just joined Plexus. I'm just getting started in my health journey, but let me get my girl Andrea into a chat with us, and she's going to get you all the information. Done. They literally can just step back, watch, and learn so that then they can duplicate when they feel ready and confident. So three-way chats have been huge. We have completely got rid of the language. Do you want to work the business? Would you like to share with others? No, that language did not work. We've been trying that for 3.5 years now, not the language to use. Referral program, referral link. Those words are so crucial. Just being like, while you're talking to them, actually, let me back up a little bit. I have notes. I get distracted easily. So another huge thing before I get into the referral program is enrolling people over the phone. I will say that I only do it about 50% of the time, and I'm working to get better at it. But Amy Wagenbach, she is going to be and pushing for a double rank this month, the Senior Ruby. She enrolls everyone over the phone, like no questions asked. She doesn't even give them the option to send them information. She will straight up say, great, I'm so glad you're ready to get started. What's the number to call you at, and when can we talk? Being able to, and from my personal experience, when you're doing enrollments over the phone, it's huge. I've been enrolling a lot of level 2s and level 3s over the phone, as well as some of my own level 1s. And it's a game changer because it builds a relationship. They get to hear your story. They get to connect with you. It builds their belief from the very start. And you know how easy it is once they get to the part where they've entered their social and they are on the referral link part and they're like, oh, what's this business URL thing? I'm not interested in working the business. And this is so simple. You go, oh girl, no problem at all. It's just a referral link. We have this incredible referral program where, everyone knows a few people that are desperate for better health or weight management, or they're just struggling. Girl, if you get like people to join you, like 3 of your family or friends, or your mom, your sister, your friend to hop on with you, girl, you're going to make over $300 just from your referral link. So that's our referral program. There's no pressure. And they're like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. You've already planted the seed to get them sharing, for them to think about who might join them. Okay. So then once they are enrolled, we immediately them if they're willing to post. Hey girl, you know how I talked to you about that referral program that we have? Yeah, we have a really simple post that we've been throwing up that brand new people have been putting up on their page, just letting them know, doing something new, investing in their health. Would you be open to posting? Simple. We have so many people brand new who are like, sure, I'll put up the post. Like, can't hurt, right? And then we tell them there's no pressure on you. We have a 60-day money back guarantee. So if your friends and family don't love it, they can get their money back, but they're not going to. They're going to love their products. And on top of that, you know, we'd love to help you get your products paid for. And there's no pressure on you also, because you're going to put them in a chat with me. That's all you're going to do. We have people that are literally signing up the next day, the same day they're posting. They're getting people signed up. That same day they're posting. I mean, we have people going levels 3, levels 4 that are just putting the post up because they're seeing other people do it. And they're seeing their friends grab their friends and family to do it with them. And they're like, well, that was easy, so we're going to do that too. Making sure we're checking in on our perks programs, making sure people know about the perks program, so that if they do turn off their subscription, you immediately follow up with them. Be like, hey, I know I just saw that you canceled your subscription. You're under a 60-day money back guarantee. Like, what's going on? You came to me with goals X, Y, and Z. I want to make sure that you reach your goals. And just so you know, Plexus gave you like $25 value in perks last month for ordering a welcome pack. I'd hate to see you lose those perks and miss out on getting to your health goals, the reason you came to me in the first place. We've gotten so many people turning their subscriptions back on, being like, oh, I had no idea that's what perks were. So make sure your people know about perks from the beginning. They see so much value in that. Okay, so events. Oh, posting challenges. Get people in posting challenges groups. If you don't have people on your team leading one, it's easy. Put all the people who are open to posting in a chat and feed them posts daily. We have unlimited resources for Instagram stories, Facebook posts, engaging social media posts, spoon feed your new ambassadors posts so that they don't have to stress about it. Okay, so events, posting challenges, 3-way chats, enrolling over the phone, getting rid of working the business, sharing with others, just talking about the referral program, the referral link, and asking people to post. You know, I know there's so many fears out there. I get it. So many fears of getting people on the phone, so many fears of asking people to post. Do it scared, because what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to tell you no, and they're going to still be excited about their products that are on the way and getting started on their health journey with you. So those are my tips. That's what we are doing. And we're keeping that momentum going. We're doing it month after month. We're talking to all of our new people, and we're really just supporting them along the way.
You guys, I love that you and your team were so coachable that you took everything we talked about and then ran with it. And look where it has gotten you. I mean, absolutely incredible. Now, Andrea, can you share really quick, what is the post that you guys are using for your new people when they start?
I can put the language in the chat, but we're really just we were doing the magic post for 1 month. One of the months we did the magic post. We're like, hey, I'm looking for 6 friends to try my pink drink with me and tell me how many pounds you shed over the next over the next 2 months. We have been using that, but there have been people who aren't comfortable posting that right away because they're like, well, I don't even have my pink drink yet, And so we have another one that's just super simple, like, hey, today I did something for me. I've been watching my friend Andrea's journey for the last 3 years. I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z. I've seen it bring her freedom with this, this, and this. And I am just so excited to invest in me and do something for me. If any of this resonates with you, I'd love to tell you the steps I took to get started. And then as soon as someone comments or likes, I give them the verbiage to reach out to that person. They immediately put us in a chat. They don't ask, do not ask, would you like to be in a 3-way chat? People are going to say no. That makes them feel uncomfortable. Don't give them the option. Throw them in the chat and just run with it. And you know what? There are people who don't respond. There are people that I get put in 3-way chats with, And even if I follow up multiple times, they still ghost me. And that's okay. It's not their time. It's not their time. Their time will come. But there are tons of people who it is their time. And all they need is that support and that validation from someone else to get going.
Perfect. This was so good. I hope you have scribbled notes. I hope the notes relay exactly what we've been saying for 7 weeks. You guys, this is so good. Andrea, thank you so much for sharing.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait to celebrate you at the end of the month. Well, actually, maybe sooner. And
Thank you so much.
So exciting. Awesome. All right. We're going to hear from another one of our senior rubies. Rachel, are you on here?
I am. I'm here.
Yay.
Can y'all hear me?
All right. Well, we asked our senior rubies to think about a couple of different things. And so I'm going to leave this to Rachel for a few minutes and let her share some tips with you guys. Make sure you have your pen and paper ready.
Thank you. I'm just going to kind of spin off a little bit of what Andrea said, talking about people ghosting you on three-way chats. Just know that's not a personal no to you. It's just not their time. And so many people take that to mean that it's personal, and it isn't. I kind of wanted to bounce off all those tips she said, strategies, all the things. We're doing all the things. My team knows that's my favorite quote, all the things. But my kind of how I got where I'm at with Plexus is failing over and over and being scared and not knowing what to do. When I joined Plexus, I guess 6 years ago, I was a very tired single mama of 2 boys. I was in corporate America. I was the VP of operations for 9 skilled nursing facilities. And I worked 60, 70 hours a week. I'm kind of a math nerd. My team knows that. My brain kind of works in numbers. So when I saw Melanie posting about this, I was like, what is she doing? Scroll, 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 scroll. Don't do that. Do not wait 6 months to jump in, and do not let your friends do that. Don't wait. Just go. That was the first mistake I made. But I have an autoimmune disease. I had horrible migraines. I was sick all the time. I was tired all the time. I didn't even know I had gut health. I didn't know what a microbiome was, and I didn't really care. I just saw Melanie having success, and I wanted what she had. So I picked up the phone, and I got over myself, and I did it scared, and I called her and asked her about it. Jumped in, didn't tell anybody, absolutely said, no, I will not post. I do not want a business. Don't ask me to post. Don't ask me to share this with anybody. Don't ask me to tell anybody, because I'm not going to. Not doing it. I'm in the healthcare field and I'm drinking something that's pink. Not happening. Well, you can see where that got me 6 years later. That was, again, one of the worst things I ever did, was decide to keep it to myself. So after about 3 months, I was not taking a box of BC powders every month. I'm talking a whole box of BC powders a month for headaches. I was not drinking 3 Route 44 Diet Cokes every day. I was sleeping better. People were asking what I was doing. Well, at that point, then I kind of wanted to know what the products were doing. Then I got my sister, who was a full-time nursing school at the time, my best friend, a tired mama, and my mom, who has fibromyalgia. And I got my 3 closest people with me. At the time, this is when Plexus still had paper checks, y'all, 6 years ago. I got my first check for like $308, and I called Melanie and I'm like, is this legal? Like, did I just sell drugs to my family? Like, I'm slinging slim now, y'all. What's up? She knew that would catch me because I'm a math person, so I asked her to send me the comp plan, and I don't mean the little one, y'all, like the whole 16 pages. And I sat down with that, and I sat down with that check, and I'll probably cry. What that meant to me was hope. That there was another way that didn't mean time away from my kids, more time in corporate America. There was hope. There was a better way to get out of student loan debt, credit card debt, to maybe finally buy a house for my kids. I'd been a renter. Fast forward 5 years, I bought my first house at 40 with 6 months of Plexus checks. That hope is something I knew. I had friends that needed it way more than they cared about 10 pounds on their hips. They didn't know how they were going to pay their light bill or groceries or pay for daycare so they could go to work to pay the mortgage. And I had to do something, I'm bouncing off Andrea here, is I had to get over myself and quit being selfish. It wasn't about me anymore. It was about who I could help. The comp plan is very much a passion of mine. I spent the first 4 years being scared to tell people about the comp plan because I didn't want them to think it was about me and that it was all about me getting a paycheck. Because when you've been in this business a little while, you realize it is never about you. It is about the people God puts in your path that you are supposed to meet, that you are supposed to bless, whether it's products, whether it's income, whatever it is. But I learned a lot the hard way. It hasn't always been easy, but don't quit. Just don't quit. That's the best piece of advice I can give you. We've been through 3 back office apocalypses, and those of you that have been around for a while, you know, when I started, we created our own PowerPoints with our own graphics. There was no corporate training. Guys, y'all have it so easy. The gut health events, the income events, the corporate training, the Engage app. You just don't understand this business is at your fingertips. Any of you can do this. If I can do this as a single mom working 70 hours a week with a very demanding boss, any of you can do it, especially with the leaders on this team and what they have put in place for us. But what I've learned along the way most is that your biggest blessings are right on the other side of your comfort zone. They're right on the other side of whatever it is that you're afraid of. That Facebook post you don't want to make, that chicken list phone call, that person that you know, you just, no, put the phone back down. That text that you've typed out 15 times and you just won't hit send, the blessing on the other side of that is far better than the fear. So call the chicken lister, hit send on the text, hit post, and guess what? You're not going to die. I promise you won't. I didn't. Public speaking is not my thing. This is not my thing. Y'all can probably hear me shaking. It's no big deal. Larissa's going to come change my diaper later. It's no problem. But do it anyway, because somebody needs that. Procrastination is fear of success. And I really didn't know that was a thing until Plexus. Like, how are people afraid to succeed? But it's a real thing, y'all. And that's all procrastination is fear of that. The best thing to cure that is get into action. Make that call, make that post, send that text. And one thing I learned a long time ago is if you don't know what to say, go look at your team and find somebody you can lift up that day. Inspire them, put hope into them, encourage them, just check in on them. If it's not about Plexus, and it doesn't always have to be about Plexus, lift someone else up and that will motivate you to get into action, but don't stop and don't quit. I had 2 quotes that I had written down, and then I'll pass it on to someone else. But I don't have any more tips, business tips. Andrea kind of spotted them all. You're going to fail. People fail. It happens. Everyone fails at something. But you have to start. I'm not going to not try because I'm afraid of failing anymore. And that's what kept me from going Senior Ruby for so long, is because I was afraid. And once I kind of got over that, realized there were more people out there that needed to hear what I had to say. And I was holding it back. I was being selfish because I was afraid. And I can fail. I've done that a whole lot in my life, but I'm not okay with not trying. And I'm not going to be okay with being in the same place a year from now as I am today. They told us a long time ago, Plexus was a personal development plan with a compensation plan. And it is absolutely true, y'all. If you are not growing in personal development, I don't care how good you are at this business, I don't care how big your network is, if you are not working on you and you're not praying for your team and growing as a leader, you will hit a leadership lid at some point. You have to keep working on you while you're building others up in your business. So that's all I got.
That is amazing. Get over yourself. It's not about you. It's about who you can help. Plexus is a personal development plan with a compensation plan. That's fantastic. Lift someone else up if you don't know what to do. Procrastination is fear of success. I could go on and on. So good. Thank you so much, Rachel. Kara, are you on? You are up.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, awesome.
Hey, everybody. I'm Kara Will, and I am a brand new Senior Ruby ambassador. So actually, I'll tell you just a quick synopsis of my Plexus journey. I joined Plexus 4 years ago, and I was one of those people that didn't catch the vision right away. I didn't run with it, and I drug my feet, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that here in a second. But it took me over 3 years to rank up to gold. And then from there, I ranked up to senior gold a couple of months later. And then last month in June, the senior gold, let's see, I ranked up to senior gold in April of 2019, just to give you a little bit of a timeline. And then last month of June, I ranked Ruby on June 28th. And then I ranked senior Ruby on June 30th at 10 p.m. at night. So, sorry. Just to say that out loud, it's just like, it's mind-blowing. It is so mind-blowing. And let me just tell you how I got there, you guys. Like Rachel said just now, I lacked self-belief. I saw the opportunity. I made excuses. I said, I don't have time. I have 3 kids. I used to work full-time. I no longer work full-time. Thank you, Plexus. But I have 3 kids. They have extracurricular activities. My husband travels a lot, so I find myself living the life of a single mom most of the time, but thankfully I have the support of a husband that can pay the bills and everything. So I had to do a lot of soul searching and praying, and this has all happened within the last couple of months, if you can't tell from my timeline. And so what I found just so clear to me was I need to focus on me, and I need to do some personal development. So I grabbed some books, and I will just say I am not a reader. Like, if this tells you anything, in college I had to take a remedial reading class because I could not pass the reading test on whatever that standardized test is that they make you take to get into college. Like, that's how bad of a reader I am. I can read a whole thing and not even tell you what I just read. I won't keep any of it, but I won't retain any of it. So this is the first book I started with, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And you guys, I found myself setting my alarm earlier in the mornings because I had to have the me time to be able to get my coffee, sit down and read my book before all my kids got up. And so I quickly got through this book, and I found myself wanting more. And so I picked up this one that came with high recommendation, Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen. That's an awesome one if you haven't already read it. But so it was like these books were just speaking to me, and I read them. I couldn't put them down. I finished them immediately because I've started books before and they sat on my, bedside table or whatever collecting dust. I never finished them because I was not in a place at that time where I was ready to really dive in and focus on me because I was scared. And so I just got to a point where it wasn't an option anymore. And I quit looking at those rubies and senior rubies and jewels and quit thinking, man, that'd be really nice. But I just don't have the influence in people. I don't have the network of friends. I don't have the time. I quit making those excuses, you guys. And the thing about it is that personal development, like, Rachel even mentioned it. It was the perfect segue into me talking because that's what I knew I wanted to talk about. Personal development is so crucial in this business, not only for this business, but for your own sanity and your own, just your own self. So I just encourage you to believe in yourself. There's no one that can't do this business, y'all. I mean, you've heard people that don't have a choice. They have to work the business, or people that just kind of see the opportunity there and they kind of watch other people succeed. But you guys, anyone can do it. You have to have that belief in yourself first. And the way I went about building that belief was personal development books, a lot of prayer, and the support of an awesome sponsor, Laura Ferguson. I will just throw her name out there real quick. But so that's just the tips I have for you today. I hope it was helpful.
Thank you so much. I totally reiterate, I would never have gotten where I am without personal development. In order to pour into others, you must pour into yourself first. And so, Kara, now you believe in others because you believe in yourself. And look where it's getting you, where it's taking you. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, we have Tressa up next.
Hello.
Hello.
Can y'all hear me? Okay. So after going after all of y'all, I'm like, I actually took a lot of notes, but even before I was going to speak, I took a lot of notes on what I was going to talk about. And then I printed it out and it was yellow and I can't read what I wrote. So I'm like really just going to go over kind of where my heart is on how I ended up where I'm at. So basically, I feel like I was not true to myself in the beginning. I was one of those people that I was actually a little bit prideful. And I thought, I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to be one of those that goes to the top really, really fast because I'm always successful at everything I do. And I literally thought, oh, I can do this. If so and so can do this, I can do this. And anyway, God was working on me a lot because I realized that with that attitude, I wasn't going to be where I needed to be with that attitude going into it. And then when I would fail, I would take it to heart so much. Like I literally would cripple with fear of failing. And so I would stay safe. You know, I wouldn't do all the things that you needed to do. And I realized failing is actually a good thing. One of my favorite books that I read was Failing Forward. And that book like spoke volumes to me because I have a super super duper big huge fear of failure. I also want people to look at me and think that I have it all together. I want to be the expert at all the things. This is how I was when I started, y'all. I'm not like this anymore. But whenever when I started, I was like, okay, I watched the leaders, right? And I was like, okay, I'm just going to duplicate them. Well, I was trying to duplicate them outside of my personality. And so it wasn't going to get me anywhere. It's kind of like whenever your kid comes to you, you know, your kids have their personality types, right? So my daughter can come to me and say, hey, mommy, because she's very much like a red personality, just, you know, dry cut. And she's going to tell me the facts of why she should be able to do this one thing, right? And then my son's going to come to me and he's going to say, mommy, I'll go on a walk with you later if you do this with me, or if you let me do this, or I'll brush your hair. You know, like he is the yellow personality, so he's going to do all those things out of care for me. If they switched roles, it would be very weird and awkward. And that's what people are hearing from us. Like when we're reaching out to people, if we reach out to them with the other personality of like, I am not, I thought I wanted to be the product knowledge person. I signed up my friend Jamie and she is that person. And I was like, well, I'm supposed to be the leader. So I have to like learn all the things. And so I thought, okay, I have to learn all the products. I have to learn all the systems. I have to learn all the things. And then I was trying so hard to like lead with everybody else's personality. And then and then it crippled me too because I was such a people pleaser. Like I wanted to be a good leader to this person in this way and this person this way. And then I decided, honestly, it took so much personal development. Y'all, I've been in this for 6.5 years. I thought I would like be diamond by now. But I am on my way. I've never given up. I will say that I've never given up, and I have failed many, many times. And I realize failing and failing forward is just what you have to do. Like you have to like pick up, dust yourself off, and move on. And I hated that. I hated failing because I always thought that was like a direct reflection of myself and who I am. And you know, I'm not any good. Like there's so many insecurities that were developed in that whole thing. Um, so so don't be prideful. Like I honestly was like, I'm just going to be 100% honest and real with y'all. Whenever I had been in this business for, like I said, 6.5 years, about a year ago is when I really started working on myself as far as like comparison, right? Like the comparison is the thief of joy. And I know that many of us say, oh, well, we don't do that. Like, I don't do that. I'm not jealous. I'm not, you know, I'm not saying I was jealous, but I was very envious of certain people when they would like rank up. And I'm like, And I honestly was like, oh, she has no idea. This girl coming in like a bulldozer. She's like getting all these people hop on board with her. And I'm like, she has no clue. She has no clue the other side of it. And I used to think like that, like, and then I realized, you know what? I honestly, the thing that I had to do, I was working on myself so much with that because I'm like, I was not really, I was not like sad for myself, but I was like, well, so I got to the point where I was happy for them, but sad for me because I'm not there yet. And then I got to the point where I will honestly say the last 2 months, God has really been like working on me. And I've honestly been praying specifically for those types of things. I got to the point where I was like super happy for them, but I was like a little envious, like, oh, I need to get there. I need to get there. And then I started to, honestly, what I did was I started to reach out to those people, and they have no clue the feeling I felt inside when I was like, whew, this is like, I'm having to humble myself like big time and just say, I actually, Andrea that spoke earlier, she was one that I reached out to like a year ago, I think. And I said, what are you doing? Because you are like adding people left and right. Like, what are you doing? And then I'm like, want to duplicate you that just started and like was rocking it, you know? But really, I feel like if we can't get out of that, I don't know, that, what's the word I'm trying to say? If we can't get out of that feeling of comparison, like comparison is the thief of joy. And it really, truly is, because I remember I used to get a paycheck and be like super excited, but then somebody higher up would get their paycheck and it'd be way bigger. And I'm like, I just need to be grateful for where I am on my journey and stop comparing your journeys with everybody else's journeys. We all have our own journey. Be grateful for every step along the way. I mean, God has blessed. I've been stuck at Senior Ruby for 3.5 years, and it's an amazing place to be stuck, like amazing place to be stuck. But I always felt like I'm not going to really arrive until I get to Emerald, because that's where I've been trying to get to. And now I can honestly say last month when people hit Emerald, that like I saw their hard work and their dedication, and I was so excited for them. Like, honestly, I was praying for them and I was cheering them on every step of the way. So you kind of have to get out of your head, and you have to get all that head trash out of your head and stop comparing and focus on just being the best that you can be with the personality and the gifts that God gave you, for who you are. And that's going to get you to be a better leader than you can trying to pretend to be somebody else. So anyway, that's pretty much what I have to say.
So good. Thank you so much for your authenticity and vulnerability, Tressa. I just feel like this is the one thing that is so difficult for so many of us. You are not alone in this stretch of personal development. I mean, even you know, I don't think we ever arrive. Like, how can we ever arrive? Really, so it's a balance of learning to live in gratefulness, but then marrying that with a motivation to be more and do more. You know what I mean? So, and we're constantly fighting that. But how incredible that you have learned to capture that thought, to recognize it and identify it. That's the first step. And replace it with what is good and positive so that you can move forward. You guys, that's what Tress is talking about. She's talking about identifying those obstacles in your mindset, capturing them purposefully and intentionally, and replacing them so that you can move forward in your personal development and business. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, Holly, you are up next. Are you on?
I'm here, yes.
Yay, go ahead.
Okay, hi guys. So I was gonna say some stuff, but I'm throwing that away too, just like Tressa, because I'm gonna feed off what she shared. I just feel led to share this. So for me, I was super sick before Plexus, bedridden, in fact, and couldn't do much at all, let alone work any kind of job or like really share Plexus. It was something I could do more than get up and go to a job. But anyway, I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and I was always the peacemaker, the one that was there to make everyone else get along, make everyone else happy, but more in a silent way, like, no, you have the last cookie or whatever. And so for me, Plexus is something that God brought to me. That's something I know without a shadow of a doubt. Like, I don't know a lot of things like for sure like that, but I know that with Plexus, God brought it to me, not only the products to help save my life, but the finances. And for me, besides gold, I don't really know my timeline. Like, that's so crazy. Like, people will say, like, I rank senior gold this month, I make ruby. Then I was never like going for it. I'm going to tell you that right now, because I didn't realize that until recently. I was just doing Plexus as it came. And part of that is because of my health, and I wasn't ever going to put anything in front of that. I never wanted to fall back to being bedridden. But what I've learned more recently is that, like, I need to trust God, because like, if he's giving me this thing, like, I need to work it. And everyone always said, like, if you treat Plexus like a hobby, that's what it's going to be. But if you treat it like a job, it will produce that kind of income for you. And so just like being the peacemaker in my family of 6 kids, that's what I was like with Plexus. Like, I was on the verge of Emerald a few years ago, and I didn't like Tressa, how she said in the beginning, her personal development and her, being envious or whatever when people would hit that rank. I thought of those people, not like on my Plexus team, but like in my family and my friends, like, well, they're going to be jealous, and what are they going to say if I get a free Lexus, and all these things. Like, I didn't want to make other people feel uncomfortable with my success. So I, in a sense, sabotage that. Like, okay, well, senior ruby's good, that's good enough. Like, I'm not going to flaunt this Lexus around and make people like, because people, that's true, like, people get jealous, and that brings a whole thing of itself. But my personal development is why, God brought this to me, and this is where he's leading me. So I'm going to have God deal with those things. I'm going to stop trying to take control of the situation and, like, care, like, still care, but like, I can't control that, what other people are going to feel. So I'm going to tell you that the last 2 months is the first time I think that I've really treated Plexus like a job. And I didn't know that this whole time, but like, when you say no, like, no, I can't go hang out, or no, I can't do this because I have to work. Like, I never did that before, because Plexus, you can fit it into your life, right? But now I'm doing that because I have a goal, and I didn't have, it was always just whatever God wants this journey to be for me is what it's going to be. And so the only reason that I haven't hit Jewel is because I haven't worked it to be a Jewel. So when Tressa says, like, I was happy for those people, because it does take hard work. Like, a 6-figure salary doesn't land in your lap. Like, you have to decide, I'm going to work for this. I'm going to put in this amount of time. And so I threw away everything else I was going to say and say, like, that, like, you have to decide. And for me, I thought I had just decided that, and I really hadn't, because I didn't say no. I didn't make those sacrifices. I didn't get up early. Like, today is pretty early for me, because if you're on my team, all my team knows, like, Holly's a sleep burner. She's not going to respond to my messages till a certain time. So, like, I'm getting up early every day to go to work my Plexus business. And I also have heard time and time again, like, the people that get you to gold aren't always the same people that get you to ruby, and the people that get you to ruby don't get you to jewel. And I do have some ladies on this call right now that have been with me from the beginning, and they're faithful and loyal, and I love them to death. But I also have people that have walked away, people that were rock stars on my team that I never saw in a million years would walk away, and they got up and walk away. And you know what? That didn't waver me. And the only reason why is because I know that God brought me Plexus. And so again, like, it's his plan, it's his timing, but I'm going to finally work for it and do my part. So The other thing I wanted to say is just don't quit. The only way to fail is by quitting. And so just like I had these rock stars walk away, I feel like a little like sadness in my heart for them, because it's like, look at what happened in Plexus in the last 2 months. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh. But the truth is, the only way to not have that success is by quitting. So just keep going. And as Autumn would say, keep swimming, and you'll get there. So that's all I got. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Wow. Like, I am like, first of all, you guys, did you hear what Holly just said? How she did not want other people to be uncomfortable with her success. This is the true definition. And she even mentioned the words sabotaging herself because of what she thought others would think of her. So her fear of success, I want you to sit with that. Are you there? Are you there feeling that same thing? So, and here's the other thing too. She came to a place where she realized she could not control other people's feelings about her and what she was doing, and that she started treating this like a job. And she said the word, I was waiting to see, Holly, if you said it or not. She started making sacrifices. Because she now realizes that when she works this like a job, the sacrifice comes alongside of it. You guys, if you choose to go to a 40, 50, 60, 70 hour a week job, you're making sacrifices, right? You're trading time for money. Here's the difference in Plexus. You trade that time for money, and that money keeps coming from that time. That's residual income. You guys, isn't that incredible? Holly, thank you so much. I had chills a couple of times. Might be because you are my dear friend. But thank you so much for sharing. Okay, we have a couple more gals that are going to share. Jenna, are you on right now?
I'm here, Erin.
Yay. Okay, go ahead and share. Thank you.
Okay, so for me, when I started Plexus 5 years ago, it was really just to feel better, which I know a lot of us share that in common. I saw my friend posting and I thought, I'm going to try this. But when I tried it, I didn't even tell my family I was trying it. Like, my husband knew, but I was literally like the keep your lips sealed type of person. So for the first 6 weeks, nobody even knew I was taking the products. And about 5 weeks after starting the products was when I started to feel really amazing, and decided to just go for it. And I had found out that my sponsor made almost $1,000 her first month sharing, because I joined her pretty soon after she signed up. So I was able to follow like how she was sharing more openly than I had been willing to do. So when I heard that, I was like, all right, husband, my sponsor made almost $1,000. What do you think? And he's like, all right, here's our goal. He's my goals guy. I'm much more like person to person. So seeing the big picture and having the goal was his strong suit. And he was like, Plexus needs to pay for itself. Okay. Because we were not used to investing in supplementation at all. So that was my first financial goal. And I met that pretty quickly, but 5 years later, this month is my 5-year anniversary with Plexus, and I just meeting his income for this month, which we had a bunch of health stuff come up for him, really arbitrary things. We're in California, so it's hard to get appointments right now, and he doesn't get to see a neurologist until August, but I'm just like pumping the nerve and the ease into him and everything else, and it's helping. But he did have a couple sporadic like appointments with like the ER, or not even an appointment with the ER, but just some different stuff that happened. And we got all those bills this month, and we sat down last night and we took a picture because there were so many bills all over the counter. And my check paid for Plexus and all those bills. So I was just like, just really, really emotional last night, thinking like, God is so good and so faithful to provide through this opportunity. And it's funny because in the time between starting to share and now, I feel like I've grown so much that now I'm able to kind of shift where my focus is. And really right now my focus is on alignment. And for me, what that means is knowing who and what I'm going after. So I'm essentially helping my team right now get really clear on values. So instead of just these goals of rank or a certain money amount or something like that, we're trying to go back to the root with our team and have the conversation of what are your values that drive your decisions. And practically in my business, what that looks like is instead of trying to chase people and convince people all the time, I'm getting really
and find resources if
Uh-oh. Am I the only one that lost her?
but
There she is. Jenna, can you hear us?
yeah, sorry, is it cutting out?
Yeah. So the last I heard, and I could be the only one, but was the values that drive your decision and how you guys are finding that.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know
Well, that's
what's going
okay.
on. So the values driving our decisions right now are, because we're focused on alignment, we're focused on knowing who we want to partner with. So instead of chasing people, we're getting clarity mentally, each of us, on what our values are that are driving our goals, instead of just everybody having this one size fits all, go after Ruby, go after Emerald, go after X amount of dollars. And what's happening with that is people on our team feel aligned with what's going on in here and don't feel that friction no matter what their personality is, whether they're a go-getter or someone who's very person-to-person oriented. Everyone is starting to gain more clarity on, why am I doing this? And not just like the goal, but like what matters to me. And what's happening in the ripple effect of that is that we're making appropriate boundaries so that Plexus doesn't take over our lives, but also we don't, the opposite side of that would be like working it like a hobby and not getting paid, right? Not getting compensated for effort. So what I was trying to say about practically in our business, what that looks like is just embracing the power of 3. And for me, that's so freeing because I have always thought like, I just want to find the most influential people I know. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, that hasn't really been effective, having that broad of a category of like, I just want to find a rock star, that kind of mentality. So I think, a lot of people will start for the products and they might later see the light and jump in with you, and that's awesome. But for me, the intentionality of going after somebody that shares my values and saying, I want to link arms with you. I want to help you get to Ruby. I want to help you match your husband's income like I've been able to do, even if it takes 5 years, because that was worth 5 years, let me tell you. There's a lot of freedom in knowing who you're looking for, because you no longer have to be everything to everyone. You no longer have to be this like magician who can like morph into being exactly what everybody would like all the time, which I kind of put that pressure on myself. I think many people have confidence in who they are, and that wasn't a growth area for them that came through Plexus. For me, 100% was, because I was just like, I'll learn, I'll do all the things, I'll read the books, but not having that confidence of like, but these are my values. This is my root system. And the other practical side of that, besides just mindset of knowing like, this is my ideal partner, for anybody who's taking notes, I'm sorry that I'm not working super linearly, whatever the word is. But this is a question I would write down if you're taking notes. Ask yourself, who is my ideal partner? Who do you want to work with, link arms with, and essentially adopt their goals as your own and fight and work to make their goals happen? Because that's the person that you should be investing in as one of your 3. So I think the last thing, I'm just glancing over at this paper I jotted things down on. Prayer for us has been huge too for our team. So getting aligned in our values, but then not just having these overarching prayers where you're just kind of like, God, please bring me the one, whoever it is, but being able to like hold hands with God and say, Lord, I know that these are the things that I want to honor God with my business. I want to help women whose husbands are pastors like me, who are struggling financially. Would you please give me the confidence that when that person comes into my life or back into my life from my past, to set aside my agenda, to set aside my fear, and to focus wholly on you are who I've been waiting for and praying for, and to breathe life into that person and to give that person hope. Really, that for me, the power of 3 is hope in a business. And, the last thing I'll say is, in the last 5 years, probably the hardest thing to learn, and I can say this, I think, confidently for our team, for my sidelines, for my sponsor, Amanda, is just this principle of like being kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. We talk about, like, as parents, be kind to each other, be kind to your siblings, be kind. But are you being kind to yourself? And are you simultaneously, is it cutting in and out? I'm getting, okay. We're embracing the principle of faithfulness, like the worker is worthy of his wages. Okay, so it's good to work hard, but your identity is not what rank you are. Your identity is not your goals. Your identity is not those things. Okay, so if that's your identity, then there's insecurity in every interaction you have with people, because that identity is on the line depending on how that interaction goes or doesn't go. So for us, being kind to yourself is so linked to knowing your values, knowing who you want to partner with. That's the power of 3. Who are the 3 you want to take to the top with you? And then lastly, be kind to yourself. I hope that's encouraging, guys.
You guys, did you really hear what she said at the end there? Where Jenna said, if your identity is not in your goals, if it is, then there is insecurity. Wow, that is so profound and good. I hope you are sitting with that, making sure that I love this, aligning your values with your goal, or aligning your goals really with your values. That's the way it goes. And making sure that your why, I mean, that goes back to like having your why, right? And who you want to be in your service in your Plexus business, because we are serving. You guys, we are serving. We're not selling. And when you have a mindset of servanthood, it changes everything. It eliminates fear. It at least lessens it. It gets rid of pride. You go forward in humility. You go forward in more boldness and confidence because you are serving. I love that. So good. Thank you so much. All right, Karma, are you here?
Hey y'all, I'm here. Jenna, that was awesome. And then everybody at the beginning that started to cry, I'm like, don't. I'm a crier, don't. Because then I'm going to be crying. Y'all, I'm so encouraged. We could just be done. It was so good. Okay, so a few things that I wanted to share, which kind of bounce off of what Jenna said. Don't y'all love how God has done this? Like everybody finished, and then the next person, it was like, oh yeah, so I'm bouncing off of what she just said. So it's just really neat. Okay, backing up, I'm Karma, Senior Ruby, been with Plexus for 5.5 years. And it has definitely been a journey, a lot of self-growth, a lot of learning to love people that aren't like me. That I don't necessarily relate to. That's not always been easy for me, but I think that the Lord has used Plexus in that way. I taught for 17 years, and then God said, hey, you're going to be in ministry. And I had never done ministry. I had no idea what I was doing. I still, many days, have no idea what I'm doing. But it's the biggest blessing. But y'all, it is not coincidence. It is not coincidence that he brought me Plexus the year that I quit teaching and I came into ministry. Like, That's so him, right? That's so him. And I'm grateful every day for the journey and for you guys. I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, oh, I know her. Even if it's just Facebook, I know her. She's my friend. Like, it's just such an amazing community that we share, you guys. We're really, really blessed. And I didn't know before Plexus what it was like to have this type of female community, you know, that just loves each other and encourages each other and forgives each other. And it's been a game changer. So one of the things that I jotted on my list was surround yourself with like-minded people. That doesn't mean that every one of you has to be red because I'm red, but it means that we encourage each other, we love on each other, we forgive each other. It's the relationship that we build with one another. So that like-mindedness that we are going to love and pour into one another is super, super valuable and important. And sometimes being poured into is not comfortable. That balloon, when it's poured into, it's going to be stretched, and it might have a moment that it looks like it might bust, and that's okay. That's growth, right? So surround yourself with like-minded people. Remember, y'all, please write, if you don't hear anything else that I say today, you will still be loved even if you follow up. They're not going to go, oh my gosh, she is following up. I hate her. She's following up. I am not speaking to her again. Oh my gosh. You know, that is not going to happen, but that's like this fear that we all have. Don't follow up because she's going to think less of me if I check on her and say, hey, I haven't heard from you. I really want you to do this with me. So you're still going to be loved. It is okay to follow up. It is okay to reach back out. And y'all, the last few months of crazy momentum, I have followed up. People tell me no. Until they say yes or they say no, I am following up. And guess what? They still love me. They're still my friend. It is okay.
I don't know. Ask that.
There's no hurt feeling. So follow up. You're still going to be loved. Learn what information is valuable and organize and monitor it. I know that's kind of a biggie. Learn what information is important for you to grow your business. What information is valuable. Learn to organize it because that information is going to be important for your success. So I'm just going to show you guys a few things that I've done this month. Working towards Emerald. I'm trying really hard to be organized, y'all. And your organizational pattern might be totally different from mine, but in trying to track everything, y'all, in my head, it all starts swimming. Are y'all like that? Like it's almost like tentacles in your head and you can't keep all the rows straight. So I don't know if you can see this, but I have done unexpected points. These are people that I've followed up with that haven't ordered in forever. Unexpected points. Then I'm tracking my July perks. I'm going to confess, I'm like the worst at looking at perks. Melissa is on my hind end all the time. Have you checked your perks? No. So y'all, I am writing down the day, 7:15, none pending. There's nobody that's going to forfeit. 7:16, none pending. 7:17, none pending. If they're pending, I'm going to put their name on here and I'm going to make sure I write messaged and I put the date that I messaged them because it all starts going in your head and it's hard to keep up with. Another place that I've logged information is I put my inactives. I don't know if y'all can see that. I've put inactives. I've put their names. And then I've put the date that I've reached out to them. And then beside their name, I've put purchased. Like they've jumped back in because it's too much. Y'all, it's too much. It doesn't matter if you're gold, senior ruby. It's a lot of details. And so you need to find a way to learn what information is valuable to you. This is what's has been invaluable to me, but find what's important to you as far as the data and growing your business, and then figure out a way to organize it. I use my notebook. I'm going to have it for every month. It's going to have a different page. Sorry, y'all. For July, it's going to have all these pages. And then at the end of July, those pages are gone, and it's going to have August pages. Courtney Cummings on my team, she uses her grade book. She literally bought a $5 grade book from Amazon, and that's where she logs everything. So you've got to figure that part out yourself, what works for you. But not having that data, not knowing where your points are coming from, where they're going, who fell off, who needs your help, who's at 99 PV, not knowing that, guys, is going to be detrimental. That is stuff you have to keep up with. Let's see. Okay. Pause. Just pause. I know there are things going on around you. Kids in the background. I had to come to work because my Wi-Fi at home wouldn't work. So here I am at the mission. But I want you to pause. I want you to think of 3 ways that Plexus has changed your life. My husband was able to go back to work after being crazy sick and having to quit his job because of Plexus. That's huge. I don't have to, our family has a little extra money. I am not the mama that I was when I would come through the carpool line and everybody had to wait on me because my van door wouldn't close. I told the kids, imagine that we have a Jeep and we're just hanging out the sides, y'all, because I could not get the door to close. Not good times. But now we have the extra money. Thank you, Plexus. Thank you, Jesus, that I have a car. The door's closed. Thank you. So that's another way. My stomach, y'all, has not worked since I was about 14. Hasn't worked. And that's changed. That's Plexus. So we can all think of 3 things minimum, right? That Plexus has done for us. Are you really going to allow your fear to hold you back and not see your friends have 3 things that have changed for them? Like the 3 things that have changed for me have been huge. So I'm really so scared or so selfish or so embarrassed or whatever that I'm not gonna just say, no, forget it. I'm sharing with her because she needs this. So that's, y'all, we have to stop being afraid, and we have to start thinking in the terms of, this is how it's helped me. I can't wait to see how it's going to help her. That's the way we have to start looking at it. Sorry. I told y'all ahead of time. I'm a crier. And then my like motto has always been, you can't lose if you don't quit. That's been my motto for 5 years. But y'all, in the last 2 months, I have a new motto. So my new motto is stop wishing and start working. That's my new motto. Because I would be like, gosh, I really wish that so-and-so would jump in, or I really wish that I would get this bump in my salary, or I really wish, but I was sitting in the fear and the wishing instead of the working. And over the last 2 months, 3 months of the working, it's changed everything. So stop wishing and start working.
That, you guys, that is so good. And did you hear what she said? That she was sitting in the fear of the wishing. Isn't that what we do? You guys, that is what we do when we are wishing. And the working gets us into activity. It gets us into servanthood. It gets us out of that fear and into momentum. You guys, thank you so much. This was so good. I feel so refreshed and like ready to move. My gosh. And I want you guys to all realize something. Every single person, every one of our senior rubies here that shared, have been here 3.5 years or more. So, and our longest was 6.5, 3.5 to 6.5. You guys, my daughter did a senior thesis, 25 pages long. And two things she found. People either believe that they will get rich quick, and so then they quit quickly, and the people who make it are the ones that are here in the long term. They're here for like 10 years. She found it over and over and over. The people who reached the top had been there for 10 years. Imagine all the lives that would not have been changed if they had quit because they didn't get to Senior Ruby fast enough. I'm like totally sold on being here and faithful and consistent and growing and determined. Melissa, I see you. You want to say something. I think I muted you though. Hold on.
Hey, no, I didn't. I have nothing to say. I literally have nothing to add other than I just want to thank you guys so much because I am so grateful. And I sat here, I'm driving in the car, literally living Plexus Freedom. We're taking our family. We're on our way to Florida for the week. And I sat here and I just took it all in and absorbed so much goodness from you guys. And like Erin said, I am continuing on my journey to learn, and you guys have taught me so much and inspired me, and I love you guys, and I'm so grateful for y'all. And Erin, thank you for leading this call and everyone that volunteered and shared. I'm so proud of you guys, and it was the best.
It was so good. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next weekend. Thank you, Senior Rubies, so much. Ladies, you're amazing. Bye, everybody.